Hello, welcome to the Good Life Meditation for the fourth day of November 2025. My name is Kurt. I'm glad you're here. This is a personal, public diary entry that I make each day at about 5:30 a.m. to go over my objectives and principles from my book, Going Alone, relative to the things that happened in the last 24 hours that are noteworthy in terms of challenging me to either be a better self or where I didn't do very good and where I could have room to improve. You're welcome to follow along and leave comments and criticisms as you see fit. And I'll read those when I get to the end. I'm a 61-year-old American, retired, living here in the countryside of Japan with my wife, endeavoring to enjoy this season of life. I do talk about sensitive subjects like death, so be forewarned. Also, a huge thank you to my viewers on YouTube, my subscribers on Patreon, and my members on YouTube. I really do appreciate all of you. All right, let's get right to it. Yesterday's challenges really came in the form of a known challenge. As I started the day with my first full day of work, it was a Monday yesterday, and I was working at my new job as an English teacher, teaching online lessons. And I had three students yesterday. I really only ever intend to have two. I didn't think that that my introduction into the teaching world would be very well received if I only included. I want to work from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Monday to Friday, so I had actually included. I didn't think that would be enough time to garner any students, so I included an extra hour at the end. So I ended up with three lessons, and I have three today, which are probably one more than I really want to do. I really knew that. I shouldn't have opened up those extra time slots, but I did. So I'm a bit worn out. It was a good day yesterday. There's nothing really to to remark about from the lessons. I I was no remember I do this not to tell you my stories, but to talk about how I use my values to handle the day better. I used temperance to control my emotions as I led up to my lessons, and reason to plan out a course of action where I wrote down my lesson plan and with each student of how I was going to tackle meeting them and going through the day. I wrote all that down. I even used temperance again 10 minutes before the start of the first lesson when I realized that the little whiteboard I had on the floor was wiped, that had the lesson plan on it, was wiped clean by Rudy, who sat on it. My little white dog. He had, like a big woofy eraser. He had cleaned my slate, so to speak. I had to hastily redo my lesson plan. Fortunately, I had the notes, and I used temperance to control my emotions. A little bit of panic at that. Plus, I had during the lesson a few technical hurdles to overcome, totally to be expected. I again used temperance to control my emotions there. And then when I was done, I simply sent an email to the technical team at the company where I work, explaining the problem and asking for their guidance. Let me light this other candle, which has gone out. The first lesson was with a retired judge from Tokyo, which was very interesting. He and I are almost exactly the same age, same life story. He just retired some time back. I won't talk too much about him other than that. And we had a very nice lesson talking about his a very advanced English speaker, talking about his interest in learning and improving English. My second lesson was a woman who works at the ticket office for a major airport railroad office, selling or provisioning foreign travelers with their Japan Rail Pass, and she needs English to help her with that role. Again, another advanced learner. And the third was all three of them were people exactly my age, within 5 or 8 years of my age. Um, and she was another advanced, third one was another advanced English learner looking for a job where she can use her English. So all three of them were very straightforward. Exactly, if I couldn't, if when I started looking for a job, and I thought I'll get back into teaching English because it's an easy field to enter here in Japan. It doesn't require much Japanese or any. I thought this would be perfect. working with retired Japanese who already speak English well. They just want to tune and refine their capabilities, and that's exactly what I, the yesterday was all about. Really enjoyed it, except that extra third lesson. I probably should have stuck with two. I've gone ahead and revised my schedule now that I only am available for 1 hour a day from 9 to 10 a.m. And I'll just keep it that way on a going forward basis. But altogether, yesterday was a very successful day. I managed things very well, um, in terms of managing my presentation and my engagement with and through the day. It was a good day. All right. As for my creed, again, I'm going to go fast. I'm a little bit worn out. I think because of yesterday, first day back at work, kind of wore me out. I'm going to go fast. Just name my objectives. Number one, to be always ready to die. Two, to make good and effective use of time. Three, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles. Four, to cultivate good emotional reactions. Five, to perform good actions relative to my values. Six, to recognize my true limits and true opportunities. Seven, to do just one thing at a time and do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully. And number eight, to maintain my balance. The principle that I'm going to read today is arena and utility. We're getting near the end. And by end, I mean the end of the objectives and principles in the book. Arena and utility is principle number 32. Boy, it's dark. And here we go. Arena and utility, page 272 of the hardbound edition. Every place and situation are an opportunity. Boy, it's dark. Hold on. There, that's better. Arena and utility. Every place and situation are an opportunity to practice and refine our objectives and principles. Ask yourself at every point through the day what utility and good end might be found for the employment of your reason and philosophy, which must be forever alert, skeptical, and active. Life is the arena. Our objectives and principles are our utilities. I wrote that principle out when I realized that the circumstance of my life was just this forum, where in this venue where I was getting a chance to utilize my objectives and principles each day to the better end of a better life, to living a better towards living a better life. And I realized it was like a gladiator coming into the arena each day, outfitted with tools and armor. These are my objectives and my principles that I use to live well. All right, I covered that. I'm moving fast this morning. Last couple of days I've been moving fast. The next 24 hours, I have three more lessons today. Ugh, boy, can you believe that though? Just an hour and a half, and it wore me out. Mm. I really do. I feel exhausted. I feel like after 11 months of no work, just an hour and a half yesterday, and it's a full day on, and I am still exhausted. Wow. Uh, Makes you wonder if you wait 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 years out, how much more harder it would be to get back into the swing of things. Thinking of you, Tim, because you have mentioned that a couple of times. Would it be harder for you given that you're like 2 or 3 years out? I think it'll come back. I think I'll regain my footing. But it's like this is what this feeling is exactly like. Exactly like going on a hike after you've been fit and you've done a lot of hiking, and then the first hike in a couple of years, and you're like, whoa, what went on? Right? I can't. You're winded after the first quarter kilometer, the first incline, and stumbling on the rocks and not yourself anymore. As for today, I have three more lessons today, and then I plan to spend a lot of time in the garden today. Also spent a good deal of time yesterday with my neighbor across the way, who had asked me to come over and help him with some things he was doing in the yard. We had a nice time talking and going over things. three comments. Hello, Ray. Good morning to you. Ray's reporting 9 degrees Celsius and the typical light rain in Western Washington gets for 9 months. Here it looks like it's about 10 degrees and what is that about 50 55% humidity. Hi, Robert. Robert says, and hello to Okoyama Ray. Currently 46 degrees Fahrenheit, 88% humidity, and an air quality index of 27 in Napanee, Ontario, Canada. Tim says, good morning. The weather check for the UK at 8:35 p.m. is 11.6 C and 84% humidity, a very mild, windy, overcast day. Tim says hello to Robert and Ray. Elvina says good afternoon and good evening. All hello, Okayama Ray, Robert, and Tim, aka Penguin. 651. Curious what that penguin part is about. Tim says hi, Tim, Elvina, and Elvina. Tim says hi to Elvina. Sarah says, whoa. Sarah says, good morning, Kurt, Elvina, Ray, Robert, and Tim. In a wave. Evelyn, hi, Evelyn. Evelyn says hi to myself. Okayama Ray, Tim, Elvina, and Robert. Robert says hi to Sarah and Evelyn. Evelyn says hi to Sarah. Sarah says hi to Evelyn. Tim says the unexpected hazard of your first day of work is Rudy wiping the blackboard clean. Yep. Tim says hi to Sarah. Evelyn says, will the same students be meeting with you or will the students have a different teacher each time? The students can decide. Already, some of my students have reassigned up for more lessons. So it's kind of like it's exactly like YouTube insofar as the students can pick which channel to watch. They can pick which instructor to work with, and so they're not assigned. They get to choose. Sarah says, introducing any new activity or job into your routine would feel tiring. The sweet spot is getting into the rhythm when it starts to feel easier. Yeah. Nice point and observation, Sarah. Tim says, I think I would find work again to be really, really hard, not just physically, but probably mentally too. Strange saying physically as I am fitter now in retirement. Yeah, I'm fitter now too. I'm fittest of my life, but I'm wiped out. I mean, I want to take a nap right now. Um, Mortis Kunst, hello, it's good to see you again. It's been a while. You say hi, hello. Robert says, currently in a How to Run Your Business with AI webinar hosted by Mike Michelovsks. I'm saying that wrong. I recently have been enjoying Profit First, written by him via Audible. Nice. Erica says, hi, Kurt. Hi, all. Cheers for a great day all around. You too, Erica. Sarah says, I really enjoyed your hike in the mountains, Kurt. Thank you for sharing. I could see how many memories flooded back to you. It was really lovely to share it with us. I loved your guitar at the end. Thank you. It's amazing to me that it took me 11 months to put out a video like that, which felt very natural and very topical and very suitable for my life circumstance and setting. And I plan to do more like that. In fact, probably um, don't hold me to it, but probably the Retiring in Japan series is that as I've been doing it for the last year is largely done. And what you'll see now instead is once in a while videos like that hike video that I think is a more natural consequence of things. Tim says it might be the mental side and concentration of work that's the draining part. Absolutely. I agree. I think he's nailed it spot on. I feel mentally drained right now. In fact, all I want to do is lay down. I've got morning exercise coming up in about 45 minutes, and I think I'm going to finish for now, lay down on the sofa, and set the alarm for 6:20 and take a nap. Robert says hi to Erica. And with that, I'm going to sign off. Thanks for joining me, friends. I wish you all the best, and be safe, but not too safe. Take care.